Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Lorana and I have a small stationery shop on Etsy. I sell planner notepads, to-do lists, cards and stickers. And today in this video I will show you how I make these kind of stickers. And yes, there are already a lot of sticker tutorials out there, but I haven't seen anyone explaining how to add gold foil to them as I do. So that's what I will show you today. So in this video I will share with you the process of designing a sticker, how I set up the file in Studio, which print settings I use to print my stickers, which vinyl paper I use for my stickers, how I apply the gold foil to them, how I laminate my stickers to make them water resistant, and the last thing is how I add a small border to my stickers so that they are easy to peel off. Before I start, this is the equipment I use: my Canon G5050 printer, my iPad Pro with an Apple Pen, my Windows laptop, my very old Silhouette portrait machine, and the FoilQuill heating tool. And for software, I use the app Procreate on my iPad and Silhouette Studio on my laptop. For designing my stickers, I usually draw them in Procreate on my iPad. Sometimes I use Canva as well because of the amount of fonts it offers, so it's often a combination, but today I only use Procreate since it was just a simple illustration. The important thing here is to make sure that the part I will add the foil later is on a separate layer than the part of what will be printed. So in this example, all of the black lines I will add gold foil later and the rest will be printed. So as soon as I'm happy with the drawing, I export this illustration in two PNG files. One file includes all of what will be printed and the other part is where I want to add foil. So for this example, just all of the black lines. After I exported two PNG files, I switch to my Windows computer and open up Silhouette Studio. Since my vinyl sticker paper comes in a A4 size, I make sure that I set the same size here as well, and then I always like to change up the registration mark to my preferred settings. Now I'm ready to import both parts of my illustration from Procreate, so I drag them into Silhouette Studio. Now, for the next steps, I will split them in three parts. First one is resize the illustration, second is foil sketch settings, and the third part is offset lines. So I start with resizing my illustration to the size I want them to be in the end, which will be about 55 millimeters. My tip is do this always first, or at least before you do the offset lines, because otherwise the spacing between the offset and your illustration will be affected. Now the foil sketch settings. I activate the part I want to add the foil. Then in the side panel I go to Sketch Tool, choose my favorite sketch fill and set the spacing to 0.1 or 0.10. And then I like to change the line color to blue because blue is always my foil color, so this is just what I'm used to and helps me organize my files, and with that the foil settings part is done. And now we come to the offset lines. So I activate the other part of my illustration, so the part which will be printed. I click in the side panel on offset and add an offset of 1.5 millimeters. Then I add another offset, which is 1 millimeter bigger than the other offset, and I change here the color of this line to black. And that's actually it. So the red line will be a kiss cut, the black line will be a die cut, the blue line will be foil. And now all I have to do is aligning all of the layers, group them and copy them to fill up the sheet. So the sheet is ready to print now, and I will show you the print settings which work for me. So the paper type is set to photo paper matte, quality is set to high, and intensity is set to 20. So the printing is done. I printed 2 sheets. This one is printed on a matte vinyl sticker paper and this one is a glossy one. And overall I prefer the matte version. I like the colors more, and also the sheet itself is a lot more of a pure white when I compare it with the glossy one. So yeah, I like the matte one more. And for now I will just put them down and let them dry down a little bit more, and I will show you which vinyl sticker paper I use for my stickers. So that's the brand which is currently my favorite. Here is the glossy version and that's the matte version, and that's the paper I used for these 2 sheets. So that's my favorite right now. I really like the quality, the stickiness, the thickness. It's just overall perfect for what I need. And then I will show you 2 other vinyl as well. Sometimes I use also this brand. Quality wise, amazing. The only thing which bothers me a little bit is the stickiness. I never had problems that it's not sticking to surface, but I just feel like it's not as sticky as the other 2 brands. So yeah, I'm not fully sure how good it really sticks. But overall, I really like this brand. What might bother a few is that it's really, really thin. I personally like that, but it may be too thin for a few people. So just keep that in mind with this brand. But overall, great vinyl as well. And then the third brand is this one, Photo Paper Direct. I absolutely adore this vinyl, especially the matte version. It's just amazing, so soft. The quality when I print on this is amazing. It's quality-wise my favorite. The only big problem is that it's just too thick. My sealer project cannot handle this vinyl. It's fine when I just print on it and then cut it, then it's no problem. But when I want to add a laminate on top of it, then it just gets too thick, and my old sealed portrait machine cannot handle the thickness of it. So that's sad because it's my absolute favorite vinyl. But yeah, it's just too thick. And since I already showed you which vinyl sticker paper I use, I will also show you what I use to laminate my stickers. So that's the brand I currently use. I think this is a German brand. It's not cheap. And I'm sure when you are from the UK or US, you have a lot of cheaper options, and I will have to look for other options as well because it's just really too pricey, but it's what I currently have and I will use them up. So I have one for a glossy finish, and this is the one I use for a matte finish. And these are just transparent labels I stick onto my vinyl stickers to protect them. Okay, and now I think my vinyl is ready for the next step, and that's adding the gold foil. This is the foil I use for my stickers. This is FoilQuill foil. FoilQuill is a very thin foil which is activated by heat and pretty easy to work with. You just have to make sure that everything is covered where you want to add foil, and also that the material you want to add the foil can handle the heat. You heard me talking about the heat tool, and now it's time to put this into my Stilo program machine. So I'm taking the blade out and insert the heat tool instead. I decided to test a small batch first before adding foil to all of my stickers. And since for this step I only want to apply the foil, I only enable the blue line and press send. And of course I add here a screenshot of my settings I use for FoilQuill. And so gets the foil applied. I was really happy with the first small batch and went ahead to apply the foil to the rest of the stickers. I already showed you what I use to laminate my stickers, and for this batch of stickers I go with a glossy finish. Of course, the goal is always to add this transparent label onto my vinyl without getting any air bubbles. Overall, I think this just really needs some practice, a good scraper, and I then really like to press the laminate on with a shirt. But if you really struggle with the lamination part, this is my #1 advice. Use matte vinyl. Because laminating matte vinyl is 100 times easier than laminating glossy vinyl because of its smooth surface. Glossy vinyl often is a bit tacky and this makes it harder to laminate without getting any air bubbles. It's finally time for cutting my stickers. So I take the heat tool out, check my blade depth and insert the blade. Now in Studio I have two cut lines. The red line is a kiss cut and the black line is a die cut. I will insert a screenshot of both settings here, but keep in mind this will not work when your sticker paper is a lot thicker or thinner. This is something you have to figure out for your own material, machine and blade. I always like to start with the kiss cut, so I only enable the red line and click send. Afterwards I do the same with the black line. And now the last but also the best step, at least for me because I love to do it, I can now remove this thin offset border on every sticker, which then makes them super easy to peel off from the backing. And yeah, that's how I make my stickers. It's for sure not the easiest way to make stickers, but I just really like how they look, and I hope this tutorial was helpful and you're now able to create similar stickers as well.